I am trying to shave some cheese. Good morning, everybody. That is weird. I don't see anyone. Are you guys on? Is anybody on? Okay, Pat. Good morning. I was getting worried. I thought maybe I still had issues with the Wi-Fi. But I'm in Orlando, not in Costa Rica. ¿Cómo están? Buenos días. Good morning, Little Light. Hello. What am I cooking? I'm going to tell you in a second. It's Black History Month, and I thought being away from home, from Canada. Good morning, Cheryl. I am in Orlando, Florida, and I'm trying to, the qualities of a good chef is that wherever you are, you should be able to cook a nice, tasty meal. From Tennessee, Loria, buenos dias, good morning. K-Way, good morning, bonjour. I am shaving some cheese. I have a block of cheddar cheese for my dish. So I am at my auntie's house. I say I don't know if to call her auntie or my cousin. Good morning, Little Light from Georgia. Of course, Maryland. Wonderful. Is it still cold? I think we have enough cheese. So for the recipe I'm making, I was supposed to have queso fresco or queso blanco, the white cheese that is like a Mexican type cheese. I forgot. Yesterday we went out and we spent like 5-6 hours just buying stuff. I wish I could give you a glimpse into that fridge. When I got here, it was almost empty. Now it's so full you can put anything. Blame-moi. So we bought all kinds of things. Laura, good morning from Berkeley, California. You're cold. More snow. Oh no, I'm sorry. But anyway, today for Black History Month, I thought I would cook some collard greens. And I got me a smoked turkey leg. I have been craving a turkey leg in Panama. And then during the holidays, I was able to find 2 fresh turkey legs. And I said I'm gonna cook them. And I did, and ooh, didn't sit real well. So I hope. So the turkey leg right now is in a pressure cooker. You see it? And then I bought a bag of collard green. Oh my God, my mind went blank. But I've been sitting here picking away the big fat stems because that makes it really, it's kind of harsh, like this. Because usually I used to buy a bunch and then you would take the stem off. Good morning. Oh, Claude, how are you? How is Colombia? Bonjour. Fort Lauderdale. Oh, you got back. Okay. Hummingwood. What am I cooking, Auntie? I am making collard green. And then I thought I would be real exotic. I'm going to try making a plantain casserole. When you say casserole, it means you're going to put something that's creamy with some kind of sauce. And then you bake it. But this is going to be more like a lasagna. I'm going to layer the plantain. So I bought some plantains that are like almost ripe but not ripe. It's not sweet. So if you were to go and Google plantain casserole, you're gonna find a Puerto Rican version where they use a sweet plantain and then they layer it, and the filling is like ground beef with something else. But you know, we're not doing beef because I'm still mostly plant-based. So I got the plantain half ripe, you know, getting to be a little yellow, but not totally ripe. And then I slice them. So each plantain, I got like 3 or 4 slices, and then I'm soaking them in a bath of a little bit of salt and vinegar. That's how we do our plantain. We don't just fry, press, and fry again. So if you're in Panama, and you know, we use fried plantain. They don't use plantain any other way. But in my culture, we use plantain all kinds of ways. But I thought today I'd be adventurous. So it's an adventure. So we have the plantain. And then for the filling, I got eggplant and a chayote, and I cut them really small. They are here, and I just had them some olive oil, little diced onion, garlic, little bit of thyme, and then I'm cooking them. Then I'm going to mash them. I'm trying to make a filling, right? That's me, but you could put ground beef if you want. And then I'm cooking the turkey leg in the pressure cooker even before I put the collards in there, because you know they tend to be a little bit tough. And then in a minute or so, I'm going to put the collard in. Then the meat from the turkey leg, some of it, I'm going to put in my filling so that when I layer, I'm going to put plantains, filling, plantain, and then top it with more filling, and then the cheese, okay? Like I said, I messed up. I don't have queso blanco or queso fresco, but any kind of white cheese would do, but I don't have that, so I am doing the cheddar cheese, which is what we have. Okay, so now I'm going to wash the collards, and I'm going to put them in the pressure cooker because they usually take about hour and a half on a regular stove. So I'm hoping about 30-45 minutes it will be done. Okay? So, hang tight. Claude, hope you're baking macaroni au gratin. No. Colombia was great. There's some interesting people. Wonderful. I'm glad you had a good time. Do you take your favorite spices from the United States to Panama? Whatever I can't find in Panama, yes. Like I'm going to take Slap Your Mama. There aren't that many spices that I'm not able to find. You know, I'm into herbs and I only like fresh herbs. But the other one, thyme, oregano, we can find in Panama. Lots of garlic we can find in Panama. Maybe cardamom. Maybe I'll take some cardamom. Cumin I could find in Panama. And I was able to even find Jamaican curry powder. So I don't need to take those with me. But I'm going to take some ackee, some cans of ackee to make with catfish. We have plenty of catfish in Panama. You can find them in any store. And especially at San Felipe, I found them. Hi, Len. Yeah. You know, I had a long list of things. Definitely, I want to order a couple of things I know from the A, even though we're trying not to, but that camera I need so that when I talk with you guys, you could see me. I have to get it from the A, so. But it's not going to be on Wednesday. I'll try to do it because apparently Wednesday is going to be a, excuse me, a day where we're going to decide where to spend our dollars, right? Okay, so let me rinse these, the greens, and then we're gonna put them in the pressure cooker. I was so happy she had a pressure cooker because otherwise I would have had to cook those greens before I got on. How's everyone doing besides being cold? Are we hanging in there? Did you guys see my last video about me being fined $1,000 in Panama? You got to watch that. And the next video coming this week is going to talk about what we need to do as we are maneuvering those waters that we are in right now, that's causing so much anxiety and concern as a retiree, as a retired group. Now, I know there are some people watching me who are not yet retired, but the issues that, you know, we are dealing with might have an effect on you if you're thinking of retiring in 5-10 years. So you're not, you know, off the hook. Okay, we are in this together, you guys. These are interesting times, and you got to take perspectives on how you deal with it, right? If we all start to panic, what is that going to do? Martin, hello, how are you? And hanging in there one day at a time. You got it. This morning, my aunt and I were talking about that. We want to be grateful for every day, but at the same time, you got to plan. You got to start assessing your options, right? What is it we can do to put ourselves in a most favorable position? And it could be that what you do may not work, but at least you're doing something, right? And that's what my next video that I just recorded that goes out on Wednesday is going to talk about. How we assess our situation as a group and what possible steps we can take to prepare, because it's going to be a rough ride, as you guys can tell. Okay? Whew. I feel exhausted just thinking about it. All right, so we're doing plantain casserole, and I have to cook the plantains. Okay, so I'm going to have to take time to do that. Malaysia, oh wow, 11:16 a.m. or p.m. Can't wait to see that. What, the casserole? Thank you so much. I know, I try to be funny. The fine? Well, you know, as I said, it's only money. I'm not attached to money. It's like if somebody were to steal something from you. Once they take it, they took it. What else can I do about it? I mean, I can cry. I do cry for a little bit, but after that, it's like, you know, you wipe your eyes, you brush yourself off, and you keep going. Hola, Doreen. Creative growth. I make you laugh. That's good. HB5. Good morning. Buenos dias. Yeah, you bounce back. And that's called resilience, isn't it? That's what resilience is. It's the ability to withstand and not be disenchanted. You know, if something happens to some people, they were like, well, you know, I had a divorce. I'm never going to marry again. Well, I'm not going to marry again, but it's not because I'm disenchanted. I just prefer to be free. This guy, listen, I wrote that. You know, I have a video that says why I'm embracing singlehood. In my retirement years, the guy said, oh, you women, you start going downhill and become unattractive in your 30s, 40s, 50s. That's why nobody wants you. That's why it's not because you choose to be by yourself. Nobody wants you. You know, usually I ignore these comments. I couldn't ignore that one. I'm like, excuse me, in my 30s, I was already unattractive. And I said, in your old age, you're not attractive either. We were married, most of us, in our younger years. We're just choosing to be single in our later years. We have nothing against people who are in great relationships. We applaud that. But don't you come here trying to put me down because I choose not to be in a relationship. That's my choice. And as I said, if the right person comes, we're open. We're just not willing to settle. That's all. That's all. It's a different phase. It's a new day. All right? So I had to respond to that. He didn't have a comeback, thank God. My apron doesn't, it's Panama. It's so cute. Yes. You know, we have something in Panama called the artisanal fair. I think it's like in October, where the artisans come from the interior and they bring all their stuff. That's where I got my hat, my Panama hat, and then you can buy jewelry. You get the mola thing. And this one said Panama, and I'm like, yeah, I have to get one. When I was in Costa Rica, there was one. Ooh, I think my, I'm smelling. What do I do? How do I turn this off? Miss Rosemary, Do I have to wait before I open it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Turn it off?
Yes, and put it away.
Oh, put it away? Okay. I didn't want to just open that pressure cooker because otherwise I'm going to have a facial. That is not going to be pretty. All right, so.
What you can do again, you can put it on the sink and open the water away.
Oh, really? Because it needs to cool off. Okay. I'm getting some instructions here. All right, so we're gonna put that in the sink, cool it off, open it, and then put the collards in there.
Yeah, okay. We need that.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Oh, Rhea, my Anna has the same problem. Which problem? Yeah, I'm enjoying being single, girl. I just go and do as I please. I have no issues. Thank you. So, I don't want someone coming to me and telling me that's because you don't want me. Come on. They just think so highly of themselves. Yeah, give me a break. No steam facial. Well, you know, it's good for you though. Steam facials are good. Oh, guys, listen. If you don't laugh about this crazy life, you're going to cry. I mean, even though I can tell you, crying is therapeutic. Did you know that? Sometimes when somebody has something happen to them, and then somebody will say, she hasn't cried. Okay, God designed tears to be healing, and they wash things off. So never get into a situation where your heart is so hard that you can't. I mean, I cry at wedding, I cry, of course, at funeral. I'm watching the news, I get tears. So you want to remain in that tender stage, right? That's why when I see people who are acting without empathy, it makes me worried. Because somebody who develops a hard edge after life has hit you upside the head a few times, you have to work hard at remaining tender-hearted, right? That you can still feel compassion for somebody else, which we know is not something that we see in our realm today. But I try very hard to keep my heart soft. You have to be intentional. You know, that's my word, intentional. You have to be intentional. Don't ever get to the point where you're hard-hearted, that your heart is hard. And that's why people who act like that, who are abrasive, always have a comeback for anything. It's like they're always so in a state of fight or flight. That's not good. From a medical standpoint, that epinephrine in your body is not supposed to be spewing throughout your body all the time. Only when you need it, and then you need to go back to baseline. Okay? So I work hard at that. Yes, being single is nice. I mean, you know, if you're young, you want to, you know, have kids. I mean, I understand that. And I'm not, you know, criticizing anybody, you know. I'm trying to crush my chayote and my eggplant here. That's going to be my, oh, it smells good. I haven't seasoned it yet. But again, I'm trying to look to get the right texture, right? So I have some peppers here. I'm going to cook those separately with a little bit of tomatoes, and then I'm going to bring it together, okay? Because we don't want our casserole to be wet, but we don't want it too dry either. I'm telling you, it's like a little science. You're making a science experiment. I've never made this before, so you guys, if it's a flop, oh well. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be okay. And then this is the kind of thing I do when I'm whole food plant-based. I want to be sure I remain creative when I'm trying to come up with new recipes. I don't see a recipe like that for the casserole, I'm telling you. So this is my recipe. Someone say, have you thought of me doing a cookbook? Not yet. I have so much I'm doing, but I don't want to be in a position when I'm overworked. I'm retired, okay? So whatever I do is because I love it, but I'm also pacing myself. All right, let's,
I open it for you.
oh, thank you. I'm going to do the peppers. So, let us cook our peppers. Okay? So nice to see you live. Hola, Maria Maki. Wonderful. Welcome right now in Namibia. I want to visit Namibia. I'm going to Kenya this year, Lord willing. So I will make a stop in Namibia. Looks good. Awesome. I'm going to send you my grandma's stuffed chayote. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Yum, yum. Yeah, please send it. Hola, Greta. Good morning. All right. So we're going to do our peppers. You know, when you're cooking, just in the habit of starting everything you're cooking with some onions and some garlic, it's going to create the baseline for a tasty dish, okay? This is Julie. Hola, Julie. Good morning. All right. So we're going to do some peppers because I want, when this mixture is dry, to just dump them in there, right? There's a knife here that's not very sharp, so I got to be careful I don't cut myself again, which I did a few weeks back. The knife went through my nail, so that was not good. And I had not had a cut in years. And that's what happens when you are using knives that are not sharpened. You're more likely to hurt yourself. And then garlic, I use a lot of garlic. All the time. All right, we should probably wash the greens and put them in there. All right, I'm gonna wash the greens so I can put them in the pressure cooker. Ooh, it started to get soft already. This is the turkey leg that I put in the pressure cooker for 30 minutes. It's already soft, so that's good. Alrighty. All right. So we're putting our peppers in here. And of course your peppers, you don't want them to be overcooked, right? You just cook a little bit. And then they're gonna go in the oven when I layer the plantain. So we just want to sweat these a little bit, okay? While this thing here, I want the water to drain. This is my chayote and eggplant. This is the base of what we use in Haitian culture for legumes, right? And then we can put all kinds of other greens. Sometimes we put cabbage, carrots, watercress, spinach. That's what goes into our legume. And we bought stuff to make legume this week. So maybe I will record it for you guys. All right, so now I'm going to season this already because this one hasn't been seasoned either. So there is Lorry salt here. I don't have that in the States. And that's not going to be one that I'm going to take with me because I'm not a fan because it's got salt in it. I like adobo better. So, I bought bay leaves yesterday. I bought a bunch of spices that she's not used to, my aunt. So I'm like, I'm buying all this stuff, and then when I leave, I don't know if she's gonna use them. But bay leaves is a great herb to use. It just adds a lot of nice flavor to your dish. And yeah, you put them in stew, anything that you're going to boil. Nutmeg, no. There is cumin, thyme I have, paprika. So, black pepper, you guys know I don't use those, right? But that's what I have, so I'm using it. So I'm seasoning both dishes at the same time. Okay. Paprika, I love. It's just green, red pepper. So we're gonna put some paprika. Cumin is a good spice. It goes well with either meat or veggies, but you don't need a whole lot. All right, so you just use only a little bit. Paprika. Oh, why do I have two paprikas? Red pepper flakes. If you like a little bit of heat, which I do. If you don't have to use it. Actually, I like the whole habanero. You guys know that. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit, one habanero in this one. Not in the pepper. Just for the flavor. So what else do we have here? Italian. Okay. There's Italian seasoning. You can't ever go wrong with that because it's got oregano and thyme and cilantro. So you can't ever go wrong. Now, if you, one of the spices that I'm going to get, Grand Rising, the Mita, good morning. I thought you was Maya with the voice. Oh, all right. Greta, remember, if anybody starts acting up, block them for me, please. Por favor. We don't want any negativity here. Okay, so I think this is good here for the peppers. You got a little toasty, which is fine. The only thing I need to add to this is a splash of lemon juice, which we will. All right, this one, I think the texture is good because I want it to be just a little bit wet. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to pour this mix up together. And then we're going to, oh goodness, let me put the collards in. Otherwise, I'm going to be in trouble in terms of timing. Now, this thing cooked in 30 minutes, so I am thinking that the greens will take about 30 minutes as well. And then once they cook, I'm going to shred the turkey leg and take some of that meat and add it to this mixture. Now, as soon as this starts cooking, we're going to start frying our plantains. That way we stay on task. That everything kind of comes together about the same time. Because once I layer the plantain, it's only going to take about maybe 30 minutes. All right. I'm going to put a little water just to be on the safe side. Okay, you think I can cover it this time by myself? Hey, I did it. All right. All right, let us taste this mixture. This is my filling. Remember, you could use any kind of filling that you want. Oh, let me put the habanero pepper in here just to give it a little taste. You can always put a whole pepper in your food just to get the taste from the skin. And I told you last time, I saw some people stick cloves in there. You can if you're really looking for a strong taste. But I think with the bay leaves and everything, I think it's enough. I don't think I want it to be. Because, you know, when you're cooking, you got to be careful you don't overpower the dish with one ingredient, okay? This is the perfect texture. It's not really wet, but it's not dry. So that when I layer it, the result is not going to be a dry mess. I even might want to put a little bit of that juice from the greens and the turkey leg in, because I don't want it to be dry. All right. Tastes good. But of course I need some lemon juice. I found lemons here, not lime. So I am very grateful for that. Okay. Splash of lemon. You know how much I love lemons. All right. I think I needed a little bit. Oh, that's why I forgot to get yesterday adobo. I should have got adobo for her, but I forgot. And I may put a little bit of salt. This is sea salt. Oh, table salt, okay. But it's got iodine in it, so that's good. We need iodine. Okay. We're gonna put that to the side, and then we're gonna fry our plantains. Let's see. It's missing a certain je ne sais quoi. Oregano. I need to slap your mama. Okay, this is lemon pepper. Let's try that. Let's add a little bit of that. Remember, this is not my kitchen, so we are trying to, we use what we have, and it's gonna work. All right, let's see. That did it. Okay, so we're good there. All right, we're gonna put this to the side. And then we're going to fry our plantains. Does this one fry good? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to try this one here. So my cousin, my aunt's daughter, is coming once we're finished here. I don't get the chance to call Jackie to say, Jackie, come and take this food for me, please. That's what I did last week. I cooked the rice and peas and the veggie medley. And I look at that rice and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to leave this rice here. Otherwise I'll eat it all and my face is going to swell up. So I'm like, Jackie, could you come take this food for me? She said gladly, and she came and I gave it to her. I'm happy that you were able to leave Panama and not held hostage. You mean that when I was coming over from Costa Rica? Yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen. But thanks to the Lord, they let me go. Ooh, that was something else. All right. So remember, we're not deep frying this plantain. We just saute fry, right, in a little bit of oil. And once they, they cook, even if they don't cook fully, remember, they're going to go in the oven for like 30 minutes. When the guy said that you have to go see my jefe and see, if they're going to let you out, I was like, oh my God. Does he have a set of handcuffs somewhere? Oh, that was terrible. All right. We're starting the frying. Let's hope it doesn't start splashing and I start getting burned. Slap your mama. Oh yes, slap your mama. It's a Creole occasion spice blend. It comes in, that I'm gonna get because I don't have, they have like little small containers I can get at Reba Smith. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else, but then I don't get out too much. Reba Smith has it. Oh, also I think Foodie in Panama City has it because my friend got it for me once from Foodie. So it's a Creole blend and it doesn't have MSG, so it's a favorite of mine. It's a spice blend, yes. We love your sense of humor. Well, thank you. Listen, what's the point of being a Scrooge and just, down in the mouth? Yeah, I've always been a little bit like that, Whatever happened, sometime I have something real major happen in my life, I could cry for days. But I know I'm going to stop crying one day and I'm going to come out and life is still good. It's attitude, right? About what happens. Yes, thank you. And that joy is not something that you can fake, right? And it is something that you nurture. It's something that God has blessed me with, and I'm very grateful for it because not everybody has that. It doesn't come naturally to them, right? So, I don't know. I'm just grateful. Whew. It's good though that it hasn't splashed yet, so. I was gonna make mofongo with the plantain, but then I thought you're gonna have collard greens over here and then a mound again of mofongo. Let's have something like a square or something. So we'll see how this one shows up. But look how pretty they look. Make sure when you're soaking them, you put a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice. That helps a lot. It keeps the oxidation down. Yes, slap your mama. I say, um, so those of you who are thinking, I think the next video, because every week I have to think of what am I going to talk about, because my videos all have to be related to older single women. Either they're already retired or they're thinking of retiring abroad. Now, in our group, Underground, there are discussions about what might happen to Social Security. So we as a group are going to have to start thinking about what we call contingency plans, right? Because just like I am a happy-go-lucky, but I'm a planner as well. So you have to be able to look, further at the horizon, look at the threats. I don't know if you guys saw my video where I talk about doing a SWOT analysis as you're trying to think of retirement. You need to look at your strength, not physical, but things that are good in your life, financially, spiritually, mentally. And then look at your liability, weaknesses, okay? What is it? Am I someone who tends to panic a lot? Am I a spender? Do I drink or spend when I'm stressed? You look at all these things. And that's why you have to be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You don't get to be in your 50s, 60s and sit with your head in the clouds. And somebody said, well, Maggie, you're a spender. And you're like, no, I'm not. But then you have like $10,000 in credit card that you went to Macy's or whatever, buying labeled bags here, I see people walking around. Even in Panama, everybody's wearing, is it Gucci looking belts and stuff. People also get caught up in that. And if you get to be a certain age, come on, you can't still be equating your worth, your value by wearing somebody else's label. You're enriching that person, not you. I was never like that, so that is not a problem for me. I remember when my kids were growing up, when school was coming, and they would say, oh, Mom, I want this Jordan. And I'm like, how much? $150. No, your budget is $45. So you can go to, what is that store? Marshall's or some of these places. You can do whatever you want, but that's my budget. And we need to, be disciplined enough in our old age. So when you look at your weaknesses, just be with your eyes open. Don't try to pretend you don't have this problem. Acknowledge the problem, and then take steps to correct it. Because in your later years, most of us, I don't know if you're in that 5%, but most of us are going to have to tone down our expenses and lifestyle to be able to live longer. Because remember, like I said, the problem Social Security has is because when they enacted it, they were thinking at 55, this guy said, once you hit 55, your mind starts going slow. You're no longer productive. So you need to start thinking about retiring. So finally they said 65. That was the magic number. But in their mind, they're like, okay, what is the average, I was going to say length of stay, but that's not what I meant. Lifespan. So how long do people actually live? And in those days, it was about 70, 74. But now, the life expectancy is in the 80s, right? And with all the progress we're making in medicine, lifestyle, exercise, nutrition, people are living longer. So now, Social Security is having to pay you a lot longer than they planned. And that's why it's in trouble. So when I'm talking about we need to start having contingency plan meaning what if something happens to Social Security? And you guys know, based on this environment we are in, anything is possible, right? We don't know. I mean, they've talked about cutting Social Security for years. But as I said in my next video, they used to be afraid that because you have so many millions of seniors who vote, the politicians were like, well, we can't really risk upsetting this little group. Well, I don't know if you noticed, that doesn't matter anymore in this day and age that we're living in. So instead of saying, oh no, nothing's going to happen to Social Security, how do you know? Do you have a crystal ball? I don't. So we're going to have to really have some good conversations about what do we do if, okay? So if you are thinking of, oh, it smells so good in here. Those greens and that turkey leg sounds yummy. You have to start thinking, what am I going to do if they cut Social Security? So as you are thinking of retirement, start finding other ways that you can finance your retirement and not count 100% on Social Security because it is at risk like it's never been. Even though this is a program that we worked in. I worked for 43 years. I paid a lot into that Social Security. But do you think somebody cares about that? No. No. So we have to shift our mindset of what we think of retirement, the sense of entitlement that they owe us. This is a new day. All right? So be proactive in how you want to think of your retirement going forward. Okay? And I'm not, like I say, I'm not gloom and doom. I'm very, very practical. You back again. I got my fork, Greta. We have to put pressure on our government to fix Social Security. Well, we can try. But again, I'm one of those, I'm very aware of whether I have leverage or not. And right now, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying we should just roll over and play dead either, but we have to be realistic as to what we are facing right now as a group. Okay? That's what I wanted to say. Ooh. It smells so good. You know, I wanted to put like a little bit of, I think I'll do that. I had a tomato. They had the beautiful Roma tomatoes here yesterday. So maybe I will put it, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I bought a shallot. I hadn't seen shallots. I think I saw shallot once in one of the stores in Panama City, but it's not something that I see every week. No. But I bought one What I wanted to do was pickle it. I forgot. I was gonna soak it into some vinegar overnight, but I forgot. But I think what I'm gonna do to kind of on top of the, what time is it? Okay, on top of the plantain casserole, I'm going to toast or saute the shallot, maybe with the tomatoes, just thin slices, and then put it on top, and that's gonna be my garnish. I just thought about it. That's just the way my brain works. All right, so that's gonna be our, we call that the garnish, okay? Ooh, it smells so good. Look at the size of this shallot, you guys. I'm like, wow, that is a big daddy of a shallot. I was telling my cousin that when I was in school, that was his favorite thing that we used in French cooking. We use that a lot more than onions. And when they do green beans, they say haricot vert. I'm like, what just call it in green beans and be done with it. Oh. And also we have some olives. We're gonna put some olives on top. Ooh. Yum, yum, yum. So, okay. All right, have our shallot. We're just gonna put them here and yep. So what I was gonna say earlier is that my cousin is coming when I'm finished here because I need somebody to eat this food. So I bought some salmon yesterday, so I'm gonna cook some salmon and then we're gonna eat this. You know, we have the greens, we have the carb. It's gonna be the plantain casserole. But I wasn't gonna have time to do all that today, you guys. So I'm sorry. So you could, if you make any of this, you could just have some, because you're gonna have turkey in the greens, so you don't really need protein. But if you want to get some chicken, I think one day I want to make some chicken parmesan for you guys here, because that is a very easy dish and it's tasty, it's yummy. And of course you could use spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, but I like to make my own marinara with white wine. So, all right, so we're just gonna toast the shallot, let them open up, maybe season it lightly, and then I'll just cut the tomatoes and garnish with some cilantro. Yeah, that's gonna be yummy. All right, so we're getting those plantains done. I'm telling you, it was so nice yesterday going to all my old stores, going to the Asian store. I did a video that I'm gonna I got so much footage. I have to gonna trim it. But to go inside the Asian store and seeing all the fish and all the veggies. Then I went to the Caribbean store. We had coconut. What was it again? A coconut, like a coconut empanada. Was so good. And then I asked for a regular Jamaican patty, and it had what kind of chicken do they have in the patty? Jerk chicken, yes. The jerk chicken patty, you know, I ate it, even though I'm low carb. But you know, when you come, I've been craving my fish pompano. I got some pompano. I had a big piece of cod. I'm gonna make a Thai lemon type soup with that. So my cousin's gonna be tasting a bunch of things that she hasn't eaten in a while. So I was like a fish in the candy store. I was so excited. So we're gonna use this dish to layer I found this dish in here. It's the right size to layer the plantain. That's what we're gonna use. She's got so many plates and stuff. Whew, my head was spinning. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want the plantain to be too sweet. It's perfect. You know, someone had asked me one time, can you show us how to make plantain without oil? And I said, okay, let me try. So I got the plantain that is almost ripe, and then you can just spray some ham on a foil, and then you cut them, and I baked them, and then took them out, let them rest for a little bit so it doesn't stick to the foil, and then you press them. This is the plantain we press with the plantain, okay? It looks like a mousetrap, but it's not. It's not a mousetrap. Oh my God, you're so crazy, Maggie. So you put the piece of plantain here and you press it. But in the absence of one of these things, which you can find, I think Walmart used to have those when I was here. So you could just take like a cup and you can just press the plantain with that. So don't get hung up on if you don't have one of those, okay? But every Haitian household has one of these. Wherever you go, because plantain, we just do plantains, okay? All right, so so that's good. So I'm just gonna take it off to heat. Do you think that the greens are done?
30 minutes, 30 minutes.
It's almost 30 minutes. That should be done. Because yesterday I was watching some, some YouTube videos of people who make them. Sometimes they get overcooked the greens. It's just like, overcooking anything is not good. You don't want it to be raw, but it needs to hold itself a little bit. Egg. What's the matter with this thing? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. I think that should be enough for the plantain. So I'm gonna leave the rest. And oh, that is so good. Then we're gonna get some the shallots are done, and then I have some green olives that I'm gonna slice and put on top as well. All right, I'll bring the camera over here when I'm ready to plate it, to layer it, so you guys can see. Okay. And okay, let me turn this down, and then turn the oven on, bake, 350. I'm gonna start at 400 and then go down. So I'm turning the oven on. All right, we can turn this off. Take the rest of the plantain out. And I turn down the pressure cooker because I need to get some of that turkey out of there as I'm layering. All right. Okay. Take it to the sink again. Woo. Okay. Is it okay? So, I don't use pressure cookers a lot, so I'm a little bit scared. But if you guys are familiar with the pressure cooker, it does make a lot of things cook a lot faster. But, okay. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Voila. Okay, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna melt a little bit of this butter really quickly. And for the bottom of this pan, fresh butter, not margarine, you guys, okay? If you're gonna use butter, use regular butter. Think it's done? Yeah? All right, you guys. All right, so we are going to dump the greens in here. You know, I tell you, I like this. So I cooked it in this for like 30 minutes. and it's done. If you don't have a pressure cooker and you're cooking your greens, they say a bag will take you about hour and a half. So what I want to do now, I'm going to get some of that turkey meat off. Look at that, falling off the bone. And we're going to use some of that meat and we're going to put it in for our plantains. You know, that's just perfect for the 3 of us. So if you have a big crowd, yeah, you're going to have to cook a lot of the greens. You know, it's like spinach. They just disappear rather fast. Okay. And knowing me, I'm going to want to go to spend some time on this bone. 30 minutes, I cook the turkey by itself, and then 30 minutes with the greens. That's all. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm telling you, I was craving this turkey leg for so long because we have a little store here in Orlando, Freshfield Farm, where you can buy organic fruits and veggies, and they have the fruits and veggies on one side. If you're from Orlando, you know what I'm talking about. And then they have a meat on the other side, kind of like San Felipe in Panama City. And outside they have like a little, you know, San Felipe has the little fondas there. I guess it's the same idea. And you can buy ice cream, and you can get a whole turkey leg. This turkey leg was like $7 some. I'm like, oh, that's expensive. But I remember they used to always be like around $5 when I was there. So let me tell you, food definitely has gotten more expensive here in Florida. Oh my gosh. And yes, I took a picture of the carton of cage-free eggs for $10 and something. I'm like, wow, that is bananas. Imagine if you have a family of 4 that you're trying to, you know, to feed. All right, so I am chopping some of that meat without the greens to put in our casserole, okay? But it kind of replaces the green, you know, the ground beef that some of you might want to put in your filling, which you guys know we can't do here. My cousin was eating some meatballs, beef meatballs. It tasted good. So I had one, I felt good. Then I went and got another one, and my stomach said, a little bit too much. So I had to pull back. All right. So the greens are done. I think it's got too much meat though. That turkey leg was too big for that one little bag of greens. All right. So now I'm going to turn the heat on a little bit, and then while I'm layering, letting it simmer, and then I can season it. I haven't put the apple cider vinegar, which you have to put in your greens. You know that. If you see any recipe, they're gonna have that. All right, let's layer this baby. So I'm hoping 15-20 minutes it will be done. Okay. Where is my dish? Where is my dish?
What do you think?
The white dish. Oh, no, that's not it. I have my cheese in there. Why the, oh, goodness. Maggie. Okay, I was I was warming that little piece of butter. Okay, here we go. Okay. We're gonna layer. Okay. Then we're gonna put the filling in. Let me shred some of that turkey. Okay. Doesn't that look yummy? A little bit of cheese. It's like you're doing a lasagna, right? But remember, I think I would have preferred to have the queso fresco or queso blanco. But in the absence, we can do this. It's like a lasagna. You know, it's kind of a different way of cooking plantains. You know, those of us who are plantain fanatics, instead of always having fried plantain, which is what we do in Panama City. I remember someone told me, he's like, is that the only way you eat plantain? I don't know. But you know, we have different kinds of plantain. Yesterday we were able to find 2 different kinds of plantain at the Caribbean store. Not just one kind. They have different species, just like they do different species of potatoes. I went to Chile and they told me they had 4,000 species of potatoes because they eat a lot of potatoes in Peru. Did I say Chile? Peru. Peru. I keep saying Peru because that's how you say it in Espanol. I think I'm gonna put this one on top. Okay. I think the dish was just perfect in terms of size. Got to experiment. That's the joy of cooking. Do something a little different. Right? All right. Oh my gosh. We are so going to enjoy this. And you know, I stopped in at the right time. I just said, okay, we have enough. Look at that. Voila, voila, voila. Oops. Bay leaves. No, we don't want to eat those. So it looks like I could have used a little bit more of that filling, but it's okay. So if you need to make more of the eggplant mixture, you can. So who would have thought you could do this to plantain, right? Oh. I think I'm gonna shave a little bit more for the top. Couldn't find a grater, so I'm using a peeler. And it worked. All right. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the shallot. Oh, and I gotta take a picture. You guys know me and my pics. Oh, that looks so good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna foil it in the beginning and then uncover it when it's almost done. You know why? Because I don't want the shallot to burn. All right, so we have the shallot. I said I was gonna put the tomatoes. I think I'm changing my mind. No tomatoes, okay? But I will put a couple of the olives. And also taking a little bit of the juice from the greens, just to make sure that it's not really dry. Okay, so let's a little bit of the olives. Yeah, I don't think we need to do the tomatoes. It would kind of, I don't know, I think it would take the identity of the dish away. We're not doing that. This is not a Italian type of dish, so we don't need to tomatize it. Ooh, I just made a word, tomatize. Oh, and definitely some cilantro. I'll put the cilantro when it's done because otherwise they're gonna burn. So we'll do the cilantro as a garnish when it's done. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. I amaze myself sometimes. Okay, there's a little bit of juice from the greens. Juice from the greens. Okay. Voila. All right. I make a mess when I cook though. I will clean it up, I promise. She's sitting over there. She's like, Mom, she doesn't say a word. I'm gonna have her come up at the end to say hello, okay? All right. The oven has been on at 400. So I'm giving it 15 minutes, you guys. And then we should be able to cook because the greens are done. The greens are done. 30 minutes in the pressure cooker. I'm amazed. Oh, it's not hot. What happened?
Press stop. Press stop.
Oh, oh Lord, I thought I had pressed start, so the oven is not really hot. But anyway, well then I will put it up here. Maybe I'll do broil instead. That way the oven wasn't on because I didn't know. So let's just do a broil instead and start. Okay, so we'll just broil it. That way it's not gonna take a long time. All right, guys, so since I'm broiling it, it will be done in an instant, in a few minutes. Let's look at the greens. The greens are done. It's only a little bit, not much to it. It was a bag. So now I'm going to make sure the flavors are on point. Ooh, I still think it's got too much meat. Don't use a whole turkey leg. Use maybe, they had pork neck or something, and I wasn't going to do that. But, okay. It tastes pretty good. No salt needed. So I did get the apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to put some of that and maybe some red pepper flakes. And I'm going to borrow that habanero pepper that's still there and put a little bit in there. It's like a teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar. Yeah, way too much meat. So we're just going to pick some of the greens. So for my cousin, when she comes, I have some asparagus. I'm going to just saute some. And we have broccoli and cauliflower. So we're going to steam some of that and add it to the green because there's not much green in here. So we can eat with the plantains. Every black household got a thing of Lori's. I know, but I don't have any. I think I was always afraid of the salt content. Yummy. I have to start to travel again soon because I'm on a restricted diet because most of the foods that I used to like to eat no longer. Let me tell you, as you get older, things happen. Like right now, currently, I can't have regular coffee. I'm going to be up till like 5 o'clock in the morning. Green tea, which I love, full of caffeine, can't have it. Now my stomach turned when I went whole food plant-based. So now meat, Okay, so I think I need to stop because I don't want this to be too dry. So I'm going to turn the heat off. And it is done. Yeah. And a bit of red pepper flakes. Let's see. I think I bought some. Yeah. Red pepper flakes are good. If you just want a little bit of heat, those of you who are not Caribbean and don't like heat, you could just use a little bit of that. Put them in chili and anything you cook, and it gives you just the right amount of heat, not a lot. Okay. So, we are good. Okay, yeah. So we're going to broil this for like 10 minutes, and then we'll be good. All right, you got my attention now if you have anything you want to say. No, salt is not a good thing. But I tell people, it's not salt itself, it's a lot of food that we buy that are prepackaged. In order for anybody, remember in the old days where your great-great-grandparents used to put food, hang it on the thing to last forever? What did they do? They salted it, right? So salt is a preservative. It keeps things fresh so you can eat it, especially if you were in areas where things were seasonal, right? That's how people were doing canning and all that good stuff. So that when you want to preserve something, you adding things to it, and mostly salt and preservatives. That's why we tell you the issues we have in this Western diet is because we have bought into the idea we want fast, we want convenience, and then we're buying things prepackaged, and that's what's killing us. All the stuff they put in to preserve the food, to make it taste good. Accent. I grew up, everybody was using Maggie Cube accent. They bought the bottle of accent. I'm like, no, no, no. MSG is not a good thing. Good morning. I can't use salt either. Yeah, I got that. Right? Yeah. They have decaffeinated green tea. That's good. Yeah. You know the place I went to yesterday, the Asian store? They have a whole aisle on both sides, just tea. I was in heaven. Japanese tea, all kinds of tea. I just love that. And now they're coming with not just a tea bag, but they have the dry leaves. Like you got a steeper. I'm gonna invest in one of those because I'm a tea freak. I love tea. I'd love to go to China and do a food tour and get the history of tea, in Japan and China, because people take their tea seriously there. And I would love that. Fiesta store. Where are the Fiesta store, Sheila? Yeah, Mrs. Dash. We have Mrs. Dash here. That's good because it's a blend of a lot of spices and herbs. And in Panama, I use a lot of herbs, more so than I used to use here. But I use a lot of fresh herbs. So romero, rosemary is something that I learned to use a lot. Mint. You can put mint in a lot of food, not just your tea. So romero, mint, cilantro, parsley, the thing that they use with meat a lot over the holidays, sage. So I'm learning to use a lot more herbs, and you don't need to use a lot of salt when your food is very well seasoned, right? Because salt is an acquired taste. And the example I give is like when the kids are babies. You remember what you used to feed your children, your babies? You just mash something and you put it there, just lap it up. We just have developed a taste for salt and other things. But if you stay away from it, you're not going to miss it, right? All right, I'm covering the top of my dish so it doesn't burn. Because it looked like it's almost ready now. Whew. Turn this down a bit. Oh, you can lower the boil. Okay. The boil said no. I'm going to put it down the bottom, even though it's still boiling, so we can get the next 10 minutes to let the ingredient marinate. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Yep, 10 minutes. My doctor think it might be the food. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. And the meat that you're eating, think about how they treat the animal that they kill to sell to you. Preservatives, hormones. And that's why people go crazy about grass-fed and this and that. I tell you, when I was in Costa Rica, I was telling in another video, we were standing there waiting for a bus. And then I turned around and there was a house and there were ducks and turkeys and chicken. And I'm like, that's what is free range. So if I were to kill that duck, which I can't, and cook it, I know it would be good for me. So it's not the meat that is bad, it's what they do to the animal, the stuff they inject. You've seen them injecting these animals. They make them big, chicken growing to this size, turkeys this size. That's not natural, you know that. So don't eat that stuff. Now, I don't eat meat. I don't need meat. I can't do chicken most of the time now. Yesterday, my cousin got me a salad. I think it was a blackened chicken salad from Chick-fil-A. Well, I did okay with it because it's a little bit, but you're not going to find me in the store buying a plate of chicken. Last I tried to do, I went to San Felipe and I got a whole chicken. I thought they were free range, but they're not. And then I cooked it. I was sick, so I'm like, okay. But I started to eat fish, and I'm doing okay with that so far. Even though yesterday we were getting my pompano fish, and then I met this couple from Trinidad. They said they're coming to Panama, so we took a picture together. And she said there's another place where we can find healthier fish, because I was in an Asian store and a lot of the fish are grown in those tanks, so they're not, from the ocean. I'm telling you, it takes so much time and energy for you to eat clean nowadays because everything is contaminated. Everybody grows things to make a profit. It's not, even in Panama, they tell you they spray the food, the veggies. So just because you're in Panama doesn't think everything is organic. No. The growers tell you, yeah, we spray pesticide to make sure that the stuff grows and we can have a nice crop. You still need to soak your veggies, put some baking soda, brush your fruit before you eat them. Because it's your responsibility. They're not gonna do it for you. Okay? My kitchen. Oh, that's my cousin's kitchen. She got a lovely house. Yeah, I'm not allowed to give you a tour, but yeah. So when she's at work, I'm here in the paradise all by myself. I'm enjoying it, even though I miss home because I like the idea of just getting down the elevator and go outside, catch the metro, but I don't have that here. But it's a trade-off. It is. It's a really nice house. Thank you. She's been kind enough. And when are you leaving? I don't know. I'm here for a little bit. I got to get my business taken care of. Okay. So remember, just, hydration, just get rid of anything else you like to drink. Just drink water. Don't overdo it. There's something called water intoxication. You don't need to have a gallon strapped to your waist all day. Drink, drink, drink. You drink when you're thirsty. Your body will tell you, okay? Don't overdo it. But anyway, where we are here in Orlando, you would think that we are shielded from everything that's going on, the craziness you're hearing in the news. Everything is pretty much chill. People are going about their business. But when you talk to people, then people who are thinking for the future, what's going to happen, there is anxiety here. There is anxiety. Especially the DEI thing. So anybody who's a certain shade is worrying about their jobs because you don't know what classification they're going to put you in. And again, as I said, just because I'm retired doesn't mean I'm shielded from it, right? Because of Social Security and other things, shenanigans that could happen. So we have to get centered, do the best we can to prepare, and then trust the universe, the Lord, because there's not much you can do about it. Now, somebody posted something in our chat about being active and contacting people. Yeah, we can do that. We don't need to just cross our arms and put our head under the covers that there's nothing, absolutely nothing we can do. That's not what we're saying. But just understand that a lot of that power, you've been hit at the knees. There's not a whole lot you can do. But what you can, you go ahead and do it and do it. And don't despair, don't panic. My mother used to say, every prayer has an amen. Nothing lasts forever, ever. Okay? Life is a circle. What goes around comes around. Yep. So sometimes somebody is just doing. You have to believe that there is somebody in charge and that sometimes the wheels have a way of turning, right? So eat your heart out, do whatever you can, and then eventually it will be over. So, you're welcome, Sheila. All right, let us start thinking of plating. Has it been 10 minutes? Ooh, yeah, the cheese is melted. Yum, yum. I don't want to keep you guys too long. It's already 1:36 in terms of the time that we've been here. Let's see. this one. Ah. All right. I found a pretty plate like my plate that I used last time. So we're going to use this one. I have a blue square plate like that I found. And then I posted you saw the dish that I showed with the rice? Wow. So this one looks like it. We go Jojo 12:30, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got time. Because the fish doesn't need to be marinated. All righty. Oh yeah, we will cut the tomatoes. The tomato. We could do a garnish with the tomato.
Can I ask that? The bone.
The what?
The bone.
The bone?
Just pass it.
Put it back.
I died.
No,
so
you have
I won't have any more.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. She said, pass me the bone. So I gave her the turkey bone. You know, I like bones too. And my brother, as a guy, he loves bones. Seriously, like when we make the legume, which I'm going to record for you guys, which is the meat with all the veggies. Yeah. We just can spend minutes sucking on these bones. But remember that they talk about the bone broth and all that. So bones, it's good for you. All right, guys. Let us plate our dish. Oh, so excited. See what it's going to look like. Is that my phone? Or is it yours?
Mine.
This is yours. Oh, okay. All right. Got my other phone. Okay, so let's put the greens down. As I said, I think it's got too much meat. So I got to find the greens. Now I remember when we used to have some church functions when I was here, and this lady would bring a big pot of greens. So now that I'm thinking, that was a lot of greens that she had to buy and clean and wash. Yeah. And I don't believe she had like that she had a pressure cooker. So it's like you cook this green for hours. This is part of the time. We don't need that. And that's another spice that I have a hard time finding in Panama City. It's hit or miss. I can go this week, they have it. In another week, even cilantro, which is really weird that I have a hard time finding cilantro in Panama. And then the last time I went to Merca Panama, which is the big farmers market, they were quoting me $4 for a bunch of cilantro. And I'm like, no. I'm not paying that much for cilantro. And then I'm like, ¿Qué pasó? What's happening? And then they're like, el agua. The problem we were having, we had a lot of inundations, floodings in Panama, and it kind of affected the crop. Certain things, like things that grew in the ground, like potatoes and stuff, yucca, they were having some problems with so much water. So they say, el agua. I'm like, you know what? If it's such a problem, that's okay. I don't need it. I can do without it. That's just the way I am. That's why I've been in Panama. I haven't ordered one thing from Amazon. I'm like, if I can find it, I don't need it. Or I can wait until I travel and then I'll bring it. Like this time when I go back, I will definitely bring an electric broom. That was something that's difficult for me. I see people using all these brooms to clean the floors. It just doesn't do a good enough job for me. So, all right, guys. So we have our greens. So I am thinking the tomatoes. How am I gonna do the tomatoes? Okay, let's think. Think. Yeah. Here is the plantain casserole. Oh, it looks so good. I think one part over here got a little bit crispy, but it looks good, doesn't it? Look at that. Who would have thought you could do this with plantain? I just looked out my window and realized it snowed about an inch. Oh, you're welcome. Well, that's one thing I don't miss. I don't miss the snow at all. Ooh, beautiful. All right. So now we are going to take a piece and we're going to put it here. So we need, yep, something like this. And no, ideally you want to let this sit for a few minutes, okay? Because I'm going through the layers, right? Ooh. Oh. Yes. Okay. I should remember which drawer. The knife. Okay. So. Okay. Okay. And now we need a little bit of cilantro. Okay. That should do it. All right, guys. Okay. We're done. Collard green, plantain casserole with a tomato garnish. So I hope you go home and you try to make it. Let this sit for a little bit so everything can kind of sit together. You never want to cut into, you want the juices to settle. So that's why it was a little bit runny when I tried to get it out. So let it sit for like 10-15 minutes. Just like when you cook meat, you let it sit so all the juices can settle down. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Go try the plantain, a different way of eating it, and it's all healthy, as you could tell. So, can you hear me at the door, Greta? I'm waiting for you. Look, there's a lot left. We're waiting for you. Bring your plate. All righty, this is it. This is the dish for today. Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture. So like I say, if you want to put a piece of a protein here, you can. But if you're whole food plant-based, and even if you didn't have the turkey in your greens, you might want to set the turkey neck and take it out. Or if you don't, because I've tried green without the a little bit of meat. It doesn't taste quite right. That's why bones add flavor to food. That's why you always want bone. Even if you wanted to just put some chicken bones or turkey bones and then take them out just for the flavor, you can do that. Trust me, it's okay if you do that. People just get so hung up on, I can't taste this, can't taste that. Don't put that much pressure on yourself. You're free. Okay? All right, you guys, have a good day. I appreciate you hanging. I will see you next week. I don't know what we're going to do next week, it's always a surprise. I'll think of something. All right? Have a good day. God loves you. I love you. Au revoir. Bye. Mwah, mwah.